Today we're solving linear systems by graphing. You have two equations with two unknowns. Both of the equations are linear equations. Since they're both in the slope-intercept form, y is equal to mx plus b, where m and b are coefficients, m being the slope and b being the y-intercept, we can plot these directly from the equation. First we'll look at the y-intercept of the first equation, which is 3. And of course we can plot that 0, 3. Next we'll look at the slope of this first equation, which is the coefficient of the x. It's the m term in the y equals mx plus b. You have a negative 1/4, which is the same as going up 1 and over 4 in the negative direction. When we plot that point, now we have our line. For the second equation, we look at the y-intercept, negative 2, and we plot that. Next, we look at the slope, which is the coefficient of the x. It's 3 over negative 2, or negative 3 over 2. So if you go up 3 in the positive direction, you have to go over 2 in the negative direction, and we can plot our point. Again, we'll graph our line. And where the two lines intersect is the coordinate negative 4, 4. That is also the solution to this set of linear equations. That's solving the problem graphically. Here's another example. In it, neither of the equations is in slope-intercept form. You could write them in slope-intercept form, but there's another way we can do that, and that is to make a table. We'll start by plugging in a value for x in the first equation. Start with 0, because it's pretty straightforward. If it's 0, you have 0 minus 2y is equal to 6. Divide both sides by negative 2, y is equal to negative 3. And so that becomes part of our table, and we can plot that point. That is 0, negative 3. We'll select another coordinate for the x, say 2, and then you have 2 minus 2y is equal to 6. This is plugging the 2 value in to the first equation. Here, to solve this, we'll do the inverse operation so that we can isolate the variable. We were adding, so we'll subtract 2 from both sides of the equation. Anything you do to the left side of the equation, you must do to the right. So here we have negative 2y is equal to 4. Divide both sides by negative 2. Again, the inverse operation. Y is equal to negative 2. And we can plot that point. That is negative 2 comma 2. Or 2, negative 2, excuse me. And we can also draw our line. So we have plotted this first line without rewriting the equation, just by finding 2 points on it. We'll do the same thing for the second line. Start with 0, plug it into the equation, you get negative y is equal to negative 2, or y is equal to 2. And you plot that point. We'll also do a second point, say 1. 1 times 3 minus y is equal to negative 2. Subtract 3 from both sides of the equation. Negative y is equal to negative 5, or y is equal to 5. And again, we'll plot that point and draw our line. Where the two lines intersect is the solution. They intersect at negative 2, negative 4. And that's the solution. You can now also check the solution to make sure that it's correct. But this is all there is to it. Solving graphing. First equation was when they were in slope-intercept form, and the second one is when they were not, and we used a table. Good luck and success.